Does Elon Musk have any contracts with the Department of Education?
First of all, I just
It's
need
a simple
to,
question,
well,
please.
not
This
that I
is
know
my
of.
time. I have 38 seconds, please,
Well,
Madam
I don't know
Secretary.
if he does or not.
You don't know if Elon Musk has any contracts in your department, and you've met with him multiple times?
Elon Musk doesn't have contracts in my department.
Did you fire the people, or did DOGE fire the people? I'm not completely clear on that.
Most, excuse me, most of that restructuring happened under the acting.
Short-term,
the
it's
short-term
one or the
is-
other,
well,
right?
you're using our time.
Yeah.
So most of that was done before I came on board. However, the
DOGE.
decisions in the department I run the department. DOGE does not run the
Okay,
department.
so you didn't answer the question. Did you fire them, or did DOGE? It's real simple.
A good majority of that happened before I came on board.
Okay, it's fine. And then, do you know the number of people that you've had to reinstate of those fired?
It's about 74.
About 74. So how did that happen? The dumbest thing I could possibly do is fire someone just to rehire them, right? Because you've given them no job security. It's like beyond stupid, right? Not saying that because you didn't do it. Clearly, it sounds like this is from Elon
The
Musk.
growing influence of unelected private actors over public institutions, and whether those institutions still answer to the public they're meant to serve. The clip of Rep. Mark Pocan pressing Secretary Linda McMahon over Elon Musk, layoffs, rehiring, and access to sensitive data captures that worry in microcosm.
Let's talk about waste,
need
fraud, and abuse a
explanation.
little more about DOGE. So you fired 1,300 people. Another 600 people took Elon Musk's deferred resignation offer. Did you fire the people, or did DOGE fire the people? I'm not completely clear on that.
Most, excuse me, most of that restructuring happened under the acting.
Short-term, did you fire, or did DOGE fire?
Well, I'm going to tell you who I fired.
I know, but that's why I'm trying to get short-term
So
questions.
the
It's
short
one or
term
the
is-
other,
well,
right?
you're using our time.
Yeah.
So most of that was done before I came on board. However, the
DOGE.
decisions in the department I run the department. DOGE does not run the
Okay,
department.
so you didn't answer the question. Did you fire them, or did DOGE? It's real simple.
A good majority of that happened before I came on board.
Okay, and by a good majority, 2/3, 3/4?
But yes, I'd say.
Okay, fair. Okay. How many times did you meet with Elon Musk
I've
about
met
firings?
with Mr. Musk probably 3 to 4 times now,
Okay,
not including when I was on the transition committee and had several opportunities to speak with him.
sure. And then if I understand it right, on your Department of Education employee roster, you have right now at least is about 16 DOGE employees. Is that correct right now, working with you?
I can get back to you to the exact number. I don't think it's that high, but we
Okay.
do have, they are employees. Those that we have are employees of the federal
And when you did their background checks to see how they're qualified about education, how many had undergraduate degrees and how many had graduate degrees in
I
education?
can get back to you on that.
Okay, so you don't know offhand?
No,
Did you ask that question?
no.
No, okay. Did you ask if any of them were teachers previously?
I did not interview those people that are part of
Okay.
the DOGE group.
And did you ask if any of them worked in schools? Did you know if they were
Actually, I had a
asked?
conversation with one of them yesterday who did have a background in education, technology education, and had worked across several different aspects and was really schooling me a little bit on some of the AI things that we could bring in.
So one of them had good background, good. Any of them work in universities that you know of prior?
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. So part of my concern is, I know yesterday there was this big splash, Elon Musk is stepping back. We call that horse hockey where I come from, right? We know it's not real. He's in the back closet. I understand you guys don't want his, front and center, but he's still in the room. And he's still making a lot of these decisions. And that's the real problem that I have is, you've got a bunch of folks that he brought in that you've admitted you didn't hire, you don't know their backgrounds, if they have anything in education, yet they're helping you fire half of your employees right now. And I'm really concerned about that. Do you know if any of them have requested or gained access to any sensitive data held by the department, including student loan borrower data?
Well, as government employees now, they have been vetted through the same process than any other government employee would. And so what access would be granted to other government employees they
Okay,
have.
that's fine. And then, do you know the number of people that you've had to reinstate of those fired?
It's about 74.
About 74. So how did that happen? Because, I've been an employer for 37 years. The dumbest thing I could possibly do is fire someone just to rehire them, right? Because you've given them no job security. It's like beyond stupid, right? Not saying that because you didn't do it. Clearly, it sounds like this is from Elon Musk. But how did that happen, that people got fired and no one thought of you might need them in your department?
Some of that did happen when I returned.
Okay.
Now, I was in the private sector. I have done restructuring in firms, and it's painful to do that.
Yeah. But
And
fire
you-
people
wait,
to
no,
rehire them?
well, here's the thing.
Like usually that's not a strategy.
When
right?
you are restructuring in a company, you hope that you're just cutting fat. Sometimes you cut a little in the muscle, and you realize it as you're continuing with your programs, and you can bring people back to do that.
Yeah,
So
or
that's
you
what
can
we
plan
did.
ahead and not fire people to rehire them, right? That would be another strategy that I think is more often used. Would you agree?
Well, I'm saying that I have been on both sides of that coin, and I found them both to be effective.
Okay, interesting. We have a different perspective on that, but maybe the world of all-star wrestling is different than my world of business to business. You talked about, and I agree with you about contracts enriching private contractors at public expense. Does Elon Musk have any contracts with the Department of Education?
Listen, first of all, I just
It's a
need
simple
to,
question,
well,
please.
not
This
that I
is
know
my
of.
time. I have 38 seconds, please,
Well,
Madam
I don't
Secretary.
know if he does or not.
You don't know if Elon Musk has any contracts in your department, and you've met with him multiple times?
Elon Musk doesn't have contracts in my department,
So Department of Education, there are no contracts with any Elon Musk company. That's what I'm asking.
not to my knowledge.
Okay. All right. You want to check a blue card real quick, or are you pretty sure of that?
I said not to my knowledge.
Okay.
If I find out differently, I'll be happy to get back to you.
All right. And just in the last few seconds I have, just real quick on private schools getting public dollars, just so you know, something like 3/4 of the students that wind up going into those schools already attend those schools, and they're getting tax money. So if we get rid of the Department of Education, should we put the private voucher program under Ways and Means, because it's really more of a tax benefit than an education benefit?
Well, I'm happy to get back to you on that as to how we restructure the Department of Education going forward and how those programs are handled.
Great. Appreciate it. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
A White House initiative nicknamed DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, led to sweeping cuts and contract terminations at the Department of Education's research arm, affecting hundreds of contracts and millions of dollars in work. Those abrupt moves didn't just trim budgets, they suspended important research and shook the careers of people who build and protect educational programs. The scale and speed of those cuts are why lawmakers are alarmed. Pocan's instincts were right. This isn't just about who was let go or who was brought back. It's about who's shaping policy and staffing decisions inside federal agencies. A second piece of context is equally important. There's growing uncertainty about where real authority lies inside this operation. The White House has described Elon Musk as a senior advisor connected to DOGE, while others emphasize that Musk isn't formally an agency administrator. Yet, his influence appears real and consequential. That fuzzy line between private influence and formal responsibility is a governance problem. When decisions that affect millions of students and families are effectively guided by a billionaire advisor who isn't accountable in the same way a public official is, oversight becomes not just prudent but essential. That's exactly why Pocan and other members of Congress are moving beyond rhetorical alarms to legislative fixes. House Democrats have introduced measures aimed squarely at this problem, bills that would bar special government employees from holding contracts or benefiting financially from government deals. These are direct responses to a new reality. If outside consultants or powerful allies can shape agency policy and then profit from it, the public interest loses. Lawmakers are trying to close that gap. Against that backdrop, the granular details in Pocan's questioning are important and instructive. He pushed on numbers. Who fired staff? How many people were rehired? The secretary reported about 74 reinstatements, whether staff recruited by the DOGE team had relevant education experience, and whether any of them had access to sensitive department data like student loan records. Those are the kinds of operational questions that matter because sudden personnel churn can cripple institutional knowledge, delay programs, and risk data security. The secretary's answers, "I've met with Mr. Musk several times, I don't know offhand the educational credentials of every hire, and not to my knowledge on contracts," underscored the issue. Too much informal influence, too little documented accountability. There's a practical harm here beyond politics. When agencies fire large numbers of career staff without a clear plan, then later rehire some or scramble to restore capabilities, the short-term savings can produce long-term damage, disrupted programs, delayed services, and lost institutional memory. In education, that means halted research projects, interrupted technical programs, and weakened oversight functions. That's why oversight visits, records requests, and direct questioning from members like Pocan aren't grandstanding. They're essential to ensuring agencies can actually serve the public. There's also a deeper point about norms and public trust. Democracies rely on transparent processes, nominations, confirmations, audits, and oversight. When policymaking is driven by unaccountable outsiders, those checks and balances are bypassed. Pocan's insistence on hard answers is exactly the kind of accountability moment that keeps public institutions honest. If you care about reliable public service and transparent governance, this is a reminder to stay engaged. Watch hearings like this. Ask your representatives where they stand on conflict of interest legislation and demand clarity about who is making the decisions that affect your community. Democracy works when the public insists on it, and this exchange was a powerful example of why that vigilance still matters.